Well, just time for another silver update. And actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about oil and the correlation between oil and silver. And it's basically an axiom, a principle, postulate, or whatever you want to call it. When oil really takes off very hard, that's when silver's had some of its best bull runs. There's been in other words, during a time of a very hard bull run in oil does the correlation between oil and silver become tight, and that's see, oil takes off, silver takes off. And oil and gold run together pretty good during most of the time, but silver and oil don't run together pretty well unless oil seems to take off in a very hard bull run. And I think there's a number of events coming up that is going to indicate that, well, you can already see it. Oil is starting to take off again. Oil has been hitting about 100 now, and right around 100. Maybe it'll close over 100 today. I'm not sure. That'll be a good indication that, and that's a big resistance point, 100. And today is Friday, September 12th, 2012. So, what is quite obvious to me is that tensions in the Middle East are already heating up again, and we got more Marines going over to all the embassies because of what happened just recently. And just to review that story, U.S. Ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens, who's actually from California, was killed along with 3 other Americans on Wednesday, just the other day, Wednesday, September 12th, during an assault on the Libyan embassy, the U.S. embassy in Libya. Now, I don't know well, let me put it this way. There's conspiracy talk out there that this was actually funded by the Western elite or whatever the hell it is, and he's well, it's designed to play upon the American people's perspective of the Muslim world, and it was probably a setup. I tend to agree. I don't know. But that's the kind of person I am, because like 2 days or a day after 9/11, I didn't believe it. And when I heard about Building 7, I said, yeah, right, that whole thing was bullshit. And then I was kind of like Roy into that very early. But it's either like people get onto the conspiracy wagon like full force, or they're like totally ignorant of it one way or the other. I'm more of a happy medium. So I just kind of look at it like business as usual. Most wars start under other pretenses, and there's always powers behind the scenes moving the chess players in place for their own, reasons. So it looks like, my main point here is, it looks like oil's going to take off like crazy, which means silver's going to take off hard. Now, I'm also looking at all the metals are taking off, and this is because of QE. Now, none of these metals, base metals, are taking off as hard as silver, but or platinum, which is partly due to the strike down here in South Africa. But all these metals are going up, which indicates, agriculture is going up also because of the drought. The metals are going up because of the drought. Oil is going up, which means all the transportation cost and the manufacturing cost of all products will go up, which tells you that, silver, even though it's going up, means that you're going to have a lot more money going out of your pocket to buy things, especially energy and food, which hurt the middle class and the poor people the most. So I have to say this, that I want to tell people when I think silver is going to have the next major pullback, and I think it's going to be in early 2013. Probably when the people in the silver block community are going to be screaming the loudest. Now, I want to point out something else, that palladium and platinum and silver are probably going to run about the same percentage gains, real roughly. On certain days I'll look like an idiot for saying that, and certain days I'll look smart for saying that. But if you really take overall with QE going on, especially with these South African mines, with the major problems with the strikes and stuff, and the police shooting the miners and stuff, killing them in cold blood, that these mines are going to be shut down. So platinum actually already was in a shortage for 2011. Palladium was already in a shortage for 2011 too, and both these metals are going to have record usage this year. So all 3 of these metals are going to do about the same. So right now, I don't feel so stupid about buying more platinum than gold, because even though I bought platinum too high, I'm ahead now. And you look at the ratio, it's only 4% more than gold. And before it was like 15%. So, and it's going to go back to 40% or maybe twice gold. Average is 40% higher than gold. That's where platinum should be at. Palladium is going to be around there too. But basically this video is, I want to get back on subject. Basically this video is about oil and silver, and I think that what's going to happen here is the war with the Middle East is going to happen. I've been predicting this and I've been wrong about it. I don't know when the hell this shit's going to happen, but I see a couple things this time. I'm using my own senses, and I did post that thing about the Illuminati clock, 9/9/2012, and I realized that those types of things are very popular. It's like, you can make money on YouTube by posting conspiratorial things, and I realized that. See, this is one thing that aggravates me the most about the silver bloggers, and some of the people are pushing about the sky's falling, and the banksters are doing this because they're strictly playing to the fears of the crowd for their own financial gain. That's what I see them as doing, and I'm going to get away from a lot of that. I'm going to interject a lot of videos, and even if I don't know, but they, I think. When you post these things, you monetize them. They want to make money off you, or whatever. But I think they will, because they'll work. Like, in other words, if I post something on how to do something, it's got a permanent appeal to it. If it's some kind of angle I specifically know, versus talking about the banksters who are gonna run us into the ground and stuff. But I do want to do a lot more of those how-to type videos and things like that, because I think those things help people in a real way. And I like doing the silver videos because I think, I've always been in the financial world more than anything. And it's like, it's an interest of mine. And I think I can actually give you a better scoop on what's going to happen ahead of time versus the other guys. I never thought silver was going to go down to 21. I thought it was going to go to 24, 25. Didn't even go that low. I never thought silver was going to go to 75 or 100 back at the end of 2011. I thought it was going to go to maybe 40, back in the low 40s, maybe upper 30s. I figured it was going to go around 40. I was wrong, but it wasn't as wrong as the other guys. And, I think silver's going to have its next peak in early 2013. So one thing I'm going to watch for, because I want you people to actually sell at the right time, and I'm not going to sell all of it because I'm scared of selling all of it. I'm not even going to sell a third. I'm going to sell a tiny portion of it. But when this ratio gets down to about 32 to 1, I think it's going to go to 28 to 1 before it pulls back hard. It's the silver gold ratio. When it gets down to about 32 to 1, I'm going to start selling some physical silver. And what am I going to do with the money? I don't know, maybe I'll sit on fiat cash hoping for a pullback, but I'll probably just, I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth, because I got enough money, but I'll probably not trade it in for gold, because I'm afraid the gold's going to get confiscated, but I may actually just buy things that, I want. That's probably what I'll do. And, it's as far as, I'm talking about things that I can use over a period of time, like maybe some hard acid, or maybe like a swimming pool or some shit like that, or whatever the hell it is. I'm talking like something like that, not just blow it in a bar or some crap. I'm not talking that, but actually something that would actually give me some use and utility for a long time. Now, but when this ratio starts creeping downward, this is something to watch for, because I know eventually it's probably going to go to 10 to 1 or 15 to 1, but it's not going to go to that ratio this next leg up. I think it's going to take to like 2014, 2015, probably more like 2015 when silver hits its height. And if silver goes to those kind of prices, and we have these astronomical oil prices, and there's wars in the Middle East, and there's tensions throughout the world, and that's what I think is coming down. It's like, I think the other things I'm going to be presenting on here are going to be more important than the silver videos, and I want to get people actually a little maybe more interested in the motorcycles, because I know some people are going to really, do it whatever you want, but I'm saying is, I've actually ridden the bikes and the motorcycles for a number of years, and money out of your pocket is, it's an important consideration. A lot of people don't see. Me being an accountant, it's like, I noticed like where some of the poor people really get nailed the most, like especially if they smoke cigarettes. They'll go to the local, store, convenience store, $5 a pack instead of buying the cheaper ones. Take a trip there, dollars worth of gas, and I always look at it like take the bicycle, go to the other store, that type of stuff, and you add up this dollar, $2 every day that you can blow extra on something by taking a trip someplace. Well, you add it up, it's hundreds of dollars. And having an accounting mind and a financial mind, I realize that all those little things, those add up very, very, very quickly. So I want to actually interject a lot of videos in a silver thing, like how to do things a lot cheaper. It could be anything. There's a lot of products out there you don't need that you can get by without a lot cheaper, and actually there's other ways. There's a million things out there. And it's like I don't like playing to the fears of the crowd too much, but I don't like playing to the fears of the crowd at all, to tell you the truth, because I really can't stand Alex Jones because I think he does that type of stuff. But I do think the 9/9/12 date with the Illuminati clock countdown, I kind of thought, I didn't know what the hell that was. But now I think there's something to it, because that was the release of the movie Muhammad. And that's the way you do things. Get everybody pissed off, get the religious leaders pissed off, and then the war starts. And that's been the ultimate goal of the Western elite, to get a war cooking in Middle East, right? Now, I don't know why they do things like that, because, I maybe I agree with some of the Western elite's goals and stuff like that, but, I always look at it like that. Just tell the American people the truth. Just present to the American people what the Iranian regime is doing on a daily basis and what they're like. And, how, maybe show some things like, what would life be, under an Islamic ruler like that? And what is, just use a little common sense. A lot of people have a lackadaisical attitude about different things, and they just don't want to go to war under any circumstances. But I almost look at the Iranians' leadership as like the Nazis were back in the 30s. Well, what are they doing? They're doing their own thing. Yeah, till something happens, right? That's what I look at it. So, like, at one point in time, the situation's going to blow up in our face, so it's like, you better take care of it now. I just don't like the deceitful methods of our elite. And I do think, well, I guess they have to do it, because the Americans will never freaking go to war under any circumstance, no matter how well you explain it to them. I would. I'm not the average American. You just tell me, hey, these... I look at the police chief over in Tehran getting caught in a brothel and stuff like that, and they're cutting people's heads off for not wearing a veil, right? At the same time, I'm like, screw those guys. I'd kill them. That's no problem. They're idiots. They're religious kooks. So, if the elite over here telling me, if those guys are messed up, no problem. They're dead. But, I just don't like the disingenuous way that the elite... I guess it's the only way you can get people to do anything, right? It's the only way you can get people to do anything. You got to get them mad at the other guy. Anyway, but that's probably the unfortunate way things are. And so anyway, I just want to point out, as oil is going to be freaking flying up here really soon. I'm thinking it is for real this time. Been wrong about it a bunch of times, but hey, the assassination of, or the killing of our ambassador in Libya, that's going to be one thing. That movie that came out, that's going to be another thing. The movie about Muhammad. And it's like you can see the rhetoric is all picking up too. So I think as this starts to occur, you're going to see the metals fly. But like I said, I'm probably going to sell some. Probably looks like early 2013. So I'm hoping you give me some good heads up on this and when the hell to get out of it. But I kind of urge people to be more practical and level-headed on things, and just keep your ducks in line and stuff like this. I know you can pray to Jesus that He's going to come and save you, but get your food, get your water. If you're in cold weather, get your firewood, whatever the hell you got to do. And, just be safe. That's the deal, right? And you don't have to move to the hills, and you don't have to worry about all this crap going crazy. Just normal things. Just the normal way things should be. It's like there is a big game out here on YouTube and on Google and on, by certain people, that they're scaring the crap out of people with all this stuff, and they got them flying off the handle with all these rumors and stuff like that about what's going to happen. And really, what they're doing is just they're playing to the fears of the crowd for their own profit. And those type of people have always annoyed me, big time, big time. I know a lot of conspiracy theories are true in a real fashion, but they're not like the way these guys are saying it. So I'm just hoping I give some straight talk here, straight shooting talk, and no bullshit. And as far as all the paper markets going down, I think some of the ETFs are unsafe. They've been talking about this for a while. Sometimes something's gonna happen. One of those, maybe the brokerage firms. We saw MF Global, but the whole electronic paper market is not going to go down. And these silver bloggers and YouTube channelists and stuff telling you that the electronic thing is going to fall away and everything has to be physical, they're lying to you too, because they're getting paid electronic money to tell you this crap. Right? Right? I mean, if they thought this, they wouldn't be on YouTube. They'd be like shoveling dirt looking for silver and living in a hole someplace. But that's not the case. They're telling everybody else to do this, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're full of it. So I like people being prepared, but I don't like people being overly worried about stupid garbage, because there's always been stuff going on forever. But you should be prepared and just don't worry about it.